y'all see, look, I was so excited I messed up on the rip. So excited, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. What's good, y'all? Welcome to More Than the Title, episode 268. I'm your host, as usual, Jared, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital and founder of More Than the Title. And y'all see it, man. I got a little pep in my step today, man. Today's a great day, man. Today's a great day. I just want to say before we begin, I had this iconic episode. Thank you to all the followers, the supporters, family, friends, everybody that helps this thing go. And I got a call yesterday from somebody. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. Call from somebody I ain't speak to in like 2 years. He hit me up, was like, yo, bro, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the conversation that you're about to have. And he was like, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. You're one of the most consistent people I know. And you know what that made me think? It made me reflect, man. It made me reflect on the journey. Because we all got cameras, but we all see things at different lenses at different times. And that's real shit. So I want to give you out a monologue what changed and could help change your life. I know what did for me is relationships. Relationships are key, y'all. Never forget that. And I want to give a quick shout out to my brother, Chris Hart, my brother, how I got to iPullRank. So I remember about midway in my career, after Can, we getting things popping. I'm jumping around VPs, all this stuff. I speak to this brother and I get a job in a company called LinkedX, SEO job. Going there, killing it. First 4 months, rookie of the year, they sitting there giving me awards and shit. I'm like, oh, we about to make this money. And the company gets sold, y'all. The company gets sold. And long story short, there was a lot of movements around. I just had my second child. I got to fly back and forth to Florida every week. My baby mother is a first-time mother, making a bunch of sacrifices. And then people see it. You don't think people see it, but they see it. And I remember one time it was a good gesture. So I'm a salesperson. My boy Chris was account manager. Anytime I close a deal, he handles it. And I just remember him always saying dilly dilly. We had a sales kickoff. I see a shirt for $10 on the side of in a gift shop somewhere. Just got him the shirt. Not because I was looking for anything in return, just because that was my guy and that's the least I could fucking do. Gave him the shirt and he just happened to be talking to the CEO at the time. And I got fired, long story short. And he always told me, he said, yo, if I ever land anywhere, I got you. Year and a half later, in between jobs, true to his damn word, calls me and says, yo, I know this brother, Michael King. And I'm like, what? He's like, yo, man, he's remind me of you, man. You guys rap, you going to kick it off. You guys are going to hit it off. We had a conversation and he was fucking right. He was right. We hit it off. And then, you know what? Got the opportunity to come to iPullRank. And why this is such a full circle moment for me, this brother was the first person to bet on me in the corporate environment. First person to bet on me. So in honor of the Black Excellence celebration we doing, how the hell can I not have anybody but this brother on to celebrate him? Because he didn't have to bet on me. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm honored to have this conversation. We're going to talk about our lessons, what we've learned, just what the sacrifices we made, man, to get to this point today. And that's what it is. We know what it is. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it raw. And you know what it is. Let's get to it.
Let's start the show.
What up, what up?
The building, my guy. What's the word?
Yo, man, I'm feeling good. I'm busy. You know, all sorts of things going on. Excited to be here.
This is love, bro. So for those who don't know, first of all, first timers, welcome to the show. This is where we go beyond the accolades, beyond the resumes, all that stuff. And we get to the real, what it takes to be successful. And like I said earlier, there's a full circle moment for me. This brother is an artist, well-renowned artist, musician, founder, CEO of iPullRank, which is one of the top SEO firms in the country. And he's also one of USA Today's top SEOs in the world. He's one of the people helping define what search looks like in an AI-driven world. He sits at the intersection of AI search strategy, from building the relevance engineering framework to helping Fortune 500 brands drive real business growth. And I'm going to keep it real. He's one of the pioneers in the space, man. And I'm honored to have him here today. Let's introduce my brother, Michael King, y'all. You don't know now, you know. You don't know now, you know. My geyser, man. My guys, it's good to see you. I ain't going to hold you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's love, bro. So, by the end of this conversation, they're going to know exactly who you are. I want them to have a perspective of what it is to do this thing, man. So, like, let's talk to the beginning, bro. Talk to me about early growing up, some early influences. What was that like? Because I want to understand the mindset.
Man, I mean, I'm from Philadelphia. I was always considered like a real smart kid. In Philly, we had a program called MG, which stood for mentally gifted. So I was in that. And then, my parents, they got back together because, they were never married or whatever, but they got back together. And my dad was living in Connecticut. So I moved up there. And, that was a whole different experience because I went to like a private school. I was like the Fresh Prince of Connecticut, you know what I mean? And I was just like a bored kid. And so one, I wanted to feel connected to my roots in Philly. And so I started doing everything hip hop. Like I was b-boying, DJing, graffiti, MCing, the whole thing. And I also got into computers. And so, like I thought I was gonna make video games for a living when I was growing up. Like that was everything that I was learning. Like I was self-taught in coding and all that. And then I was also like doing all the hip hop stuff.
But so before you go too further, bro, what got you into the computers? Was there a moment? What was the one thing like, yeah, I'm just gonna learn this?
Nah, I was just bored. Like my dad had this 286 laptop laying around, and I was like, oh, let me play with this. And I discovered a program called Q Basic, which was for making programs. And I started making games. And then I was like, yo, like, can we go to the bookstore? I can learn more about other programming languages. I went to computer camp. Then, my dad, he started working at Microsoft. So my first official job was a high school internship at Microsoft, like building websites. And, like I said, I was mostly self-taught. And so went to a private school. And then I wanted the opposite experience. So I went to Howard and I studied computer science. But the thing was, like, I kind of knew everything they were teaching me. And I spent a lot more of my time.
You gotta get it the way you said it, he's like, yeah, I kind of knew.
Yeah, I mean, like I was learning math and like whatever the non-computer science things were, but the language they were teaching I already knew. So I actually spent a lot more of my time rapping when I was at Howard. You know what I mean? So like that's when I was battling everywhere. And I just got to the point where I was like, yo, I'd rather like I can only rap till I'm 40, right? That's what I thought at that time.
That's a fact.
So I was like, I want to do that and I can come back to school if I need to or whatever. So stopped going and I should start releasing records and things like that. And touring the world. And that's a whole story in and of itself.
Before we even get too far though, bro, because I want to get to the rap junk. We're gonna have that conversation too. But I do want to hear the influence that your mom and pops had on you. Like your pops working at Microsoft, that's an experience that a lot of people, especially from our community, don't experience, bro. So I would love to know, like, what's some of the best game or the best gems you got from mom and pops?
Yeah, I mean, so my pops is from Uptown, like, and both of my parents went to UPenn. That's where they met, and so. Yeah, and they had me like right after they graduated. So they're both the two that made it in their respective families. And so that's my context, right? Like I had my time in the hood like everybody, but then we moved out of the hood. So I have both experiences, you know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah.
And like I'm sure this is your experience too, right? Like where your family would tell you like, yo, you gotta work harder than other types of people. You know what I mean? You gotta show up, you gotta be great. Like that's what was baked into me from a really young age. You know what I mean? Like my parents had me wearing Penn shirts. Like the expectation was that I was going to Penn. You know what I mean? Like I was going to be elite from day one. So
that's powerful. That shift of mindset though.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't have. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And the thing is like, even when we lived in the hood, I never knew we were poor at the time. Like, cause I had everything I needed. I didn't know that, you know what I mean?
That's
so by the time I'm going to this private school and I'm living around these rich kids, like that's when I understood like, oh, something is a little different. Like people have more than what we have or whatever.
Proximity to success.
Exactly. And so my parents being successful, because my mom, like I said, she also went to Penn. She worked at like all the important hospitals in Philly. Then she started working at Yale. She ran the AIDS clinic and then the AIDS outpatient unit or whatever. So she was always cooking. And then she, she's continuing her career, and she works at this agency called the Joint Commission, where she basically audits hospitals to see if they can keep their government funding, because she's all about like people getting
Getting
good health care. Yeah.
exactly.
Like no matter who you are, you should get good health care. And then my dad, he like only worked at blue chip companies. So like Procter and Gamble, Eli Lilly, Microsoft, Adobe, like his whole career was that, and just collecting stock and just like, like building the life that no one he grew up with had, you know what I mean? And yeah, he like lives in a mansion that he built himself in San Diego, you know what I mean? Like, so like he made it for real. And so this is what I like, like I said, I didn't have that from birth. So I saw them get it. So I always knew it was possible, you know what I mean?
It's just possible.
I was always held to such a high expectation that I would be, if anyone makes it out of the family, like Mike has to, because he came from two people that made it.
So let's pause right there for a second. Let's talk about the pressure of that.
Yeah,
that's a lot of pressure, bro. Like when you're the him in the family.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also the first boy of my generation, so like all of that was on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's definitely the aspect of like, yes, it's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation on me. And when I was like, yo, I'm not gonna graduate, I'm gonna rap. Nobody was mad at me, but they were like, huh? Like, what are you talking about?
They looked at you like, shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but like I also had a lot of support from my family, even with that. They're like, cool, yeah, we'll buy CDs, we'll come to shows, like all that sort of thing. Because I think they just figured I would figure it out at some point. You know what I mean? Like whatever it was gonna be, I would figure it out. So I always had support, even though it wasn't me doing what everyone wanted me to do.
That's real, bro. But when you say that, like you say it's easier said than done, though, bro. Like even with the support, let's go. Like now you're at Howard, you're saying you're gonna rap. What was one of the toughest moments you experienced during that, bro? That made you want to quit? Like, God damn, I should have went back to Penn. What the? What one of those, bro? Like, I need the real.
Now, what happened was I was on the phone with my dad one day, and he was like, "Yo, you're going half-ass at school. You're going half-ass at rap. You should pick one or the other." And I assumed he thought I was going to pick school, and I was like, you know what, you're right. And then I was like, I'm not doing the school thing no more. And the thing is, like when we say half-ass, like I was still an honor student for a time. You know what I mean? Like because again, Howard wasn't difficult.
Yeah,
like
sneeze at, for
real.
Yeah,
and so you know what I mean? Like and I think that was actually really important for me to do, because I grew in so many important ways from having a rap career. Like trying to sell CDs on 6th Avenue to people that don't want CDs and never heard of you. Like that was my sales training right there.
Gladiator.
You know what I mean?
It's Gladiator 42nd. You shared me a rap anywhere from 42nd to 34th. You got a CD. Nobody want to talk to you.
No, of course not. And like and kind of like living off those CDs at that time, like I figured that shit out. You know what I mean? Like
so how many was you selling a day though? Like you was like, yo, you came in there with a quota. Like I'm gonna get off like 50, 100 a day.
No, I wasn't selling 50 or 100. Like 30 was good. 30 was good.
Even at the shit, 30 a day, more than 5. You talking about 250?
Yeah. So like, and because I would come to the city, and there's a online record store called Sandbox Automatic. They would buy like 20 off of me, and then I would sell like 30 in the street. You know what I mean? Like I would either be by Fat Beats on 6th Ave, or like by where Nobody Beats the Wiz used to be at on in Union Square, like spots, or going to Washington Square Park, catch a cipher and then like sell some CDs, like all that. That's what I was doing, you know what I mean? And then I would do shows and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, everything I know about marketing and sales came from that. I never took a marketing class, like
message.
Well, illest rap memory you remember? Illest cipher, illest session. What's one that you and then before now? Like talking about like back then. What was the illest one? And we'll go into the iller ones now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things. Like there's a lot of things where like for example, Immortal Technique, his first album, I recorded for a track on that album. He just didn't use the verse.
Oh,
like it was a track with me and my whole crew. and it's like the hidden track after that Dance with the Devil record that my guy Diabolic is on. All of us were on that record, and it was a crazy session. But I don't know, man. Like I battled a whole lot of people. There was one time I came up to the city from Howard with some of my Howard rap friends, and it was like the BET MC World Cup or whatever.
Yeah.
And I got to the finals. It was me and this dude named Ham, who I'd never heard of before this. And I murdered this dude. Lady Luck was like the host, like Rizzo was one of the judges and all this. And it was so clear I murdered this dude. And then they just gave it to him. And I was like, I'm looking at Rizzo like, yo, save me. Like, he didn't give a shit. Like, they paid him to judge. He don't give a shit. And I'm like, yo, what is happening here? And it turned out that he was like a new signee of somebody. And this was like part of his rollout. So they were like,
so he was like, yeah, we don't get you.
Gonna win.
Yeah.
I was so disheartened by that. I was like, yo, this is fake. I thought I just had to be good. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And I mean, I toured with like Capadonna and Killer Priest and R.A. the Rugged Man, You God, Inspect the Deck. Oh, we did a show in Inspect the Deck in not Albany, Troy, like the town that's right
next. Yeah, upstate.
And so there was no stage, and you know, there was like this balcony thing that people were rocking on. And so I jumped off the balcony and then down to where the people were, and I was like standing on the pool table rapping. Mm-hmm. So after I did that, everybody wanted to rap on the pool table, including Deck. And he had this leather jacket, probably like an Averex joint or whatever, and he took it off. And apparently he owns like mad apartments in the city. Mm-hmm. And his keys for all those apartments were in that jacket, and somebody stole his jacket.
The bomber clot.
Yeah. I was like, yo, this is fucked up.
Man. I remember one of my favorite early memories I've had. I was supposed to battle Corey Guns. I don't know if I ever told you that.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was supposed to battle Corey Guns. So growing up, it used to be me and my man Flacco. We used to be on Bryan Avenue. Ho Avenue was the block, 2 blocks over. So that's where he's from, 174th. Mm-hmm. So I'm just out there on a random day. We just sitting there rapping. I just happen to have like 30 people with me. I'm like, yes, this is the day. They just happen to be a nice day. Everybody's outside. And you know, we bored, we chilling. Yo, just get the scythe going. Just start rapping randomly. I start talking. Car pulls up. He starts listening. He's like, yo, he started listening. He's like, yo, now you got some shit. Yo, Corey up the block. That's my man. He's looking for somebody in the battle. Go get him. And the whole block, yeah. I got about 15 verses in the clip. I'm ready. I just happen to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Comes through in a Chrysler, navy blue Chrysler 300. Pulls down the window, but everybody started getting amped. So I guess he saw that. I don't know who he's with, but he pulled down the window and was like, yeah, we're not doing this today. Catch me on the and it was a smart thing. And I don't know if Corey remember that, but I'm so like, that was one of those moments. And I just remember we did so many things rapping, bro. Like,
yeah, man. Like the stories. I mean, I remember it was my first tour in Europe, and we were opening for DJ Premier.
Shout out to Premier.
And yeah, man. And you know, we go to soundcheck, we rocking, and he came over and he like quoted one of the lines back to us. I'm like, oh, okay, Premier.
Yeah, you was listening, dog.
Yeah. And then you know, he goes to rock. And he goes to drop Annie up, and and I jump on the stage.
Did Annie up?
Nah, he didn't do it, but he.
I was like, hold on, he did that.
Yeah, that's DR Period did that record, but yeah, he goes to drop the record, and I get on the stage, and he's like, "Yo, Icon, they don't know what's about to go down." I'm like, "I do." He drops the beat, and I stage dive. It was one of my favorite memories of being a rapper, man, because like it was crazy in there. And then after the show was over, I went over to him and just like got him on film. And he's like, talking about how dope we were and all this. So, you know, I'm running to Primo again. He has never remembered this, but that was fantastic for me.
Primo, so I don't know if you know this either. My first sales job was right next door to D&D.
A word?
Right next door. I'm talking about D&D's right here. My sales floor is right here. So every day after work, you know, I mean, during work, during lunch, I go get a smoke break, anything. I would just go upstairs to the studio. We see Joe Buttons coming through, all that, like right during work. I took pictures with Betsy Johnson, but we did my mixtape release party at the bar that was right downstairs from D&D. Showbiz and AG happened to be downstairs getting a drink. And we upstairs like 50, 60 deep. We selling shirts. We boom, boom. He happened to hear a song. I did a call, thank God. Showbiz came to me, was like, yo, nah, like that's one of the realest songs I've ever heard in my life, bro. Like Preem's upstairs, brought Preem downstairs. Preem stayed for the whole time with us.
That's dope.
The whole release was like, yo, and I used to go in there every after work. Yo, I'm going upstairs to check it in. Yo, what's good, bro? You good? I used to be him and my man Schiller. Like, yo, he's a good dude.
Genuine. Yeah, man. I gotta get a record with him at some point.
It'll happen. He wanted to do something. He was doing the Royce and
the Prime record, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And he said he was doing some shit with Miguel in London. I'm like, God damn it. Now I gotta get my sales on. I gotta get this business popping. And what was that moment for you, bro? Or like, how did you get in? So now you're doing dope things in rap. How did you get into like the corporate? And what was
I mean, it was an actual accident. So it was 06. Damn, it's been 20 years.
Crazy,
06. Right? Yeah. I got into a bike accident and I didn't have health insurance. This is pre-Obamacare. So I need to get a job to pay, the bills that I racked up from this accident. And the first place to hire me was the SEO agency. They were like, "Oh, you know how to code. You can figure this out." And yeah, they were right.
No. But what was the initial role? Do you remember the title?
It was SEO technical analyst. And that job was crazy, right? Because so I had only intended to keep it for 3 months, right? Like I got the job in August, and then I was going to go on my first European tour, the one we just talking about, in that November. And I went to give my notice, and my manager at that time, he's like, "Oh, I'm a musician." He had the guitar and all this. I don't know if he actually was a musician, but he was mad understanding. He was like, "Oh no, we can't let you quit. You're too good." Cause like, me, I work hard. Like I've always worked hard. Like I was like staying until 10 o'clock getting shit done and whatever.
Show me the money.
And yeah, I mean, cause that role, like I had like 50 accounts, and not only did I get, like a salary or whatever, but I also got bonused every month that we retained those accounts. So it was like, I wasn't just an account manager. I was also like the person doing the work. And the longer we kept the engagement, like I got 10% of their MRR. So, like this is the first time I was making like real money. You know what I mean? And
ARR sound like you need a bell. MRR sound like you need a bell, God. I ain't know.
And then so I went to get my notice, and the boy was like, "Oh nah, like you're too good. We can't let you go. You can work from home while you're on the road." I was like, "What? What did you just say?" And because the way it works, right? Like it wasn't like, at iPullRank where we mostly are just doing consulting. We would get access to people's websites and just make the adjustments and then upload them again. So I went on this tour and I just brought this heavy ass, 2006 laptop with me, and we were taking trains everywhere. So I just downloaded the site, before we left, work on it on the train, and then upload it when we get to the venue. And then that would be that. And so I was touring and getting paid for work at the same time. And I was like, oh shit, this is amazing. So what ended up happening was that guy got fired because he just wasn't doing a good job. And, like he wasn't answering the phone when clients would call and things like that. So, a lot of people were like churning and all that. So he got fired, and it was me and like the 3 other guys that worked there. And I just started answering the phone and being like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, is that a problem? Okay, I'll fix it." And, the other thing is that SEO back then, like a lot of people didn't know how to do it. I mean, now they still don't know how to do it, but like a lot of like selling a product and not being able to do anything. And I was like, all right, well, let me figure out how this actually works and get these people results. And so it was working. And, they gave me a raise, and they gave me that guy that was managing me his job. And again, like I started answering the phone, we started actually doing shit, and it was just going really well. But then eventually something happened, and the guy that owned the company pissed me off, and I just quit and I just went back on tour.
That's crazy. You said I'm back. I'm back on it. And then what brought you back to? Because that sounded like that was your gladiator school. Like the
Yeah.
selling the CDs was the Manhattan, and
Mhm.
now coming to work, that was your gladiator. You opening it, you picking up the phone, you're doing the work, you're understanding the work now, you seeing the impact of the work you're doing. So you're doing it way faster and way better than most people that just talk the shit.
Yeah, I mean, it took a few more iterations of that. Like basically, what would happen was I would get another job in like the off season of touring, and then it'd be like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then the boss would do something to piss me off, and then I'd be out. Actually, the job I got after that it was fucked up. My grandmother died, so I went to Philly for her funeral and all that, and I came back and they fired me. And I was like, okay, cool. But then I went and worked at Razorfish, and Razorfish was like the first like legit multinational agency that I worked at, and I'm working on brands like Ralph Lauren and ABC and like shit that I can recognize, because all the shit I worked on up until then was like, who are these companies?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
down these pools, just and you.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? And anyway, so it was kind of like abstract, but now it's like I wear tons of polo. I am now working on polo, RalphLauren.com. And so it just made it a lot more real. And I'm working with really smart people. And, it just seemed like a thing that if I stuck with it, I could make some real bread. And the thing was, at Razorfish, I was just a contractor because for whatever reason, no, I'll tell you why. They didn't want to offer me the job because I knew how to do the work. I didn't know how to talk about the work. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to do deliverables. I just knew how to like fix people's websites and make them money.
He was like the original SEO. When you think about SEO, the back room, you just stay. You ain't really talking client facing. You ain't client facing.
Exactly. So like I didn't know, how to do a deck about SEO and all this. So they were like, yeah, okay, you're gonna be a contractor. You get 24 hours a week. I'm like, cool. I can just do Tuesday to Thursday and then have long weekends to keep doing shows. And that's what I did for a while. But then I was like, yo, I actually really want to work here long term. Again, like I'm like, I can learn from these people. I could probably make some real bread. Yeah. But they still wouldn't offer me a job. And so what I did, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to another publicist agency, get a job offer, bring it back, and then they'll have to hire me because it's in the same network.
Yeah.
And I did that, and they still couldn't hire me. So that's when I moved to New York because I had gotten a job offer from Publicis Modem, which then became Publicis New York. And from there I kind of like jumped around at different agencies, but I also started getting involved in thought leadership. So I started blogging for Moz, I started speaking, and then I basically like caused a bidding war amongst all the agencies in New York to hire me. And the agency that hired me, where'd you go? I don't know if you're still there or not.
Well, it took me out. I'm like, hold on. You know who that was?
The man.
No, all good. So started the bidding war, got another job, did all that. And then, after a few more of those, it was just like, why am I working for other people? This doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like I come from that school of thought of like independent everything, you know what I mean? Independent hip hop, like DIY, the whole nine. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, if these knuckleheads can run companies, like I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. And then I started iPullRank in 2011.
So what was, all right. So most entrepreneurs be like, all right, so you knew the moment, you identified the moments like, look, I'm done. I've seen enough. And I think we all see that when we go through our journey as far as like corporate or just going through our, professional career. You look at your manager, you look at your boss, you start questioning things. Then you start understanding why they did it. And then you're like, God damn, you did that. And you start like, I wish I had the opportunity. You have to give yourself the opportunity. So you build the table. What did you have to start with, bro?
I mean, I have a song about this. And I have a song about this. And the first bar is like, I put $5,000 in a bank account, turn that to 10 million, I would say about. Like, that's Yeah, I mean, that's what it was, right? Like I
I've
was
had
just,
in a bank account.
yeah, because I was like, yo, I looked at my bank account at the time and I was like, yo, all right, if I don't sell a single thing, I can at least pay my rent for the rest of the year. And so I did that. I put 5Gs in a bank account and, you know, didn't even like officially announce I was in business, but I got 2 clients like 2 days later. And then I was like, okay, well now I got like 15K MRR already. All right, so what we doing? And then I got a WeWork, and then I was just using like my friend
15K off the
network.
rip? 15K MRR off the rip?
Yeah.
Woo! Boy! Woo!
Um,
For those listening, I got a lot of questions. People like, what's MRR? Monthly recurring revenue, y'all. So
yeah.
that's if you got a business or whatever your business is getting per month.
Yeah, and so you know, and the advantage was that I'd already built my name as a thought leader. So there were people that were already looking to work for me. They just or work with me rather. They just didn't want to work with the companies that I'd worked with at that time.
Makes sense.
And so once they found out that I was available and doing my own thing, they were like, "Oh hell yeah!" And they just like signed up right away. And so then, like I said, I was using my friend network that I built over all those years as contractors to like, you know, help me do the work. And then that year ended, and you know, I had basically replaced what I was making. I think I made like 300K that first, like it was only like 8 months. I made that in that 8 months. And then I was like, all right, well, I should hire an account manager because that's what I like doing the least. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, then I did that, and then I hired Gaetano and this guy Richard, and then it was just like the 4 of us for like, you know, let's say like 4 to 6 months, and then we started bringing on more and more people over time.
What is your process for identifying talent as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, it's definitely evolved. You know, because before what was working for me when I worked for other people was just like finding people that are very talented, but they are restrained in what they're doing. Like they don't get the latitude to do what they're truly capable of.
Yeah.
And then aligning the thing they really want to do with what I'm trying to do, and then kind of setting them free. That used to work for me a lot, but it worked for me less once I had like my own company. And I'm not sure exactly why that is, but you know, I've had to like refine the hiring process. And what we use a combination of like the methodology that Google uses and another methodology called top grading. And the top grading methodology, you kind of set the frame as though, hey, anything you tell me is going to be verified. Like, what would your old boss say about you in that role? Not just like, what would you say about how you performed in that role? And so we get a lot of like more honest information. And you know, I mean, you've been through our process, right? Like we also like test people. You get a project, you got to like go through it so we see what your work actually looks like. But I think we're a lot better at asking the behavioral questions that we really need to understand than we were before. But again, it's been an evolution over time because you know we've had a number of hires that were not ideal.
I can imagine, bro. And that's a bet. And it's an investment. I ain't gonna front the whole shout out to the whole team, man. I was getting mad answers behind the scenes. Yo, if you just do this, say this, show up, smile like you do this. This is what they're looking for. We gotta have you. Like, yo, that was the energy when I did the interview, bro. That was the energy, bro. But like, so in your business, right? And once again, like I said, the reason why I'm asking these questions, bro, is because like when we were working together, I didn't see it from your lens.
Sure.
I didn't see it from an entrepreneurial lens. You know what I'm saying? I just saw what I saw. I saw an opportunity. I saw something, and I'm like, yo, and we would build it. First of all, what we did doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
I mean, and it also happened through the pandemic. So like, you know, there's a lot of, there's a whole lot to unpack there. But I can relate to what you're saying because, you know, there was an agency I worked for, a few years before I started iPullRank. And when I joined them, I was basically like the face of the company from a marketing perspective. And they were a link broker firm, right? Which meant that they bought and sold links, which was against Google's guidelines.
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't heard of them before I went and worked there. So I didn't know that that's all they did. Like the way they framed it to me was like, oh yeah, we do content marketing. Not just that we are doing something that is completely against Google's guidelines. And immediately, like a month after I started, maybe 2 months after I started, they got penalized by Google and taken out of the index because there was this whole like expose on what they were doing. And because I was the face of this company, a lot of people blamed it on me. They were like, oh, well, Mike is a scammer and da-da-da. I'm like, yo, I just got here. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
right?
the face, but not the equity. So you're dealing with the problems as the face and you ain't got the equity. And it's like, what the?
I ain't got the equity and I can't make the decisions to fix it. And this is one of those key moments where I was like, yo, I can't be responsible publicly for something that I don't control. Like this doesn't work for me. So there's a lot of decisions that those guys made that I did not agree with. And, had they told me more information, I could have understood it better at that time. But to me, they just felt like they were scammers. They were just like, looking for a fall guy for these sorts of things and whatever. And there was also this thing that happened, and I'm fine with this, like especially now. But so I was hanging out with those guys in Vegas, right? What I mean is I'm fine with what I did. Let me explain it to you. Okay. So I was hanging out with those guys in Vegas, and we're like chilling in the suite or whatever. And one of them hands me his computer. And he's like, "Oh, play some music," I'm like, "Bet." And I'm do that, and I accidentally hit the wrong button, and his email came up, and in his email was this model of staff where they were like considering getting rid of my whole team. And what I did is what I allegedly did was forward that email to myself. And then I just kind of like, kept it moving, act like nothing was wrong or whatever. And then when I got home, I told my team, I was like, yo, they're thinking of firing all you guys, like whatever you need. I got you on references, like the whole thing. And so there's this one kid that was on my team that basically snitched on me and told them about all of this.
So you try to look out, and then the lookout become the look.
Yeah. So everything you might expect happened after that happened. And but the point is this: like, had they been forthcoming with me about what that was, because like I model my staff all the time. I'm always like, hey, we might need to cut here. We may need to grow here. Like, doesn't mean I'm making those decisions, but for me to not have trust in those guys from how they were moving before that, and for me to see that out of context, all I can really understand is that you are considering getting rid of my team. You see what I'm saying? So like when you are an employee, your frame of reference is always going to be different. There's things that you don't know. There's things that you don't consider because you're not running a company.
Message.
Yeah, I mean, your perspective becomes a completely different thing once you're sitting in the seat. Once you're like, hey, I got 30 people that are relying on me for their livelihood. Like, your decision making becomes a very different thing.
That's so real, bro. And I definitely understand that now, bro. Well, and we're gonna go into that. Look, they put the sirens on. It's about to get ready. Well, it's not. Nah, but like, I respect everything you said, bro. Like, and for somebody from Lee, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, 15K MRR was like my height. Lost it. Process of getting it right back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know those moments, and in those moments, bro, with the pressure, you know everything you're doing, the family, the life that you're used to, is like, do I go back? And the sacrifices and the bet that you make on yourself, bro. So like, tell us. I remember the story, but I would love for you to share. Like, what was the moment with you when you like, yo, at the height, something happened, and then we got to kind of grind it back up. Like, and how did you get through that mentally?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's happened multiple times, right? Like, because with iPullRank, we went from that 300 the first year, we tripled it, and then we doubled it, and we were just like on some, you know, hockey stick shit for a while. And then we just got to the point where things weren't sustainable. Like there was no process. Like whole team was mad at me, you know what I mean? And then I was like, all right, well, we need an operations guy. And then I hired the wrong person. And then, you know, like it was like catastrophic to the business, right? Like almost everyone left. A lot of people hated me, and, you know, like just the framing of that sort of thing when you have someone that comes in and doesn't really understand your business, isn't really helping you run it well, but you're in this space where you're like, hey, maybe I'm just not doing this right. Like let's get an adult in here. Yeah. He wasn't any better than me, you know what I'm saying? So like I mean, I didn't start from zero again, but like we started over in a lot of ways.
But how do you mentally, as bro? That's a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me,
it's gonna go over heads that ain't in it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, for me, because the way I'm oriented is if something goes wrong, I just assume it's my fault. Like there's something I didn't do or something I didn't know or whatever. Like, because that's all I can really control, right? Like, I can't control, you know, did this person do what they were supposed to do? I can only control like, all right, well, I knew that person wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, so I needed to get someone else, and I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So the way I looked at it was, all right, what don't I know? Like, where am I falling short? And so I took a business class. I went over to what's that school in like Flatiron, Baruch or whatever.
Yeah.
And I took a course on like, you know, business operations or whatever. And it was super helpful. Like it helped me understand some of my key gaps. And then, you know, we're like building things back up. Like when we hired you, I think we were on the upswing of building things back up from
right after that.
Yeah. And we had just like closed a pretty big deal at the time. Got it all up front in cash. And I was like, boom, let's do this. Like, let's, you know what I mean? Let's invest. Let's like get the right people in the right chairs and see where we can take it. And, you know,
that was rough.
Then, you know, pandemic, like all sorts of things didn't go our way, but
it did. It did, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, you just gotta like keep it moving.
No, because it was supposed to.
Yeah, you learn from it.
Sure. Everything that happened during that time, bro, was supposed to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the hardest, that right there, like the pandemic specifically was one of the hardest times for me as an entrepreneur. Cause like,
imagine.
Huh?
I said, I couldn't imagine, bro. Like as an entrepreneur now, I couldn't imagine being in that spot. I'm just keeping
because there was just so much out of my control. Like there was that time period where I had to like, what's the word? Furlough people for like a week or something like that. And it was only a week, but you know, to have to like do the calculus of like, all right, who do I choose for this? You know what I mean? Because like
when you rock with everybody.
Yeah. And
relationships with everyone.
Exactly. And like, so as an example, and I don't want to put his business in the streets, but like, you know, there's someone that we all worked with at that time that I had to do that with. And then he ultimately left. And it made sense because like he had, you know, as a family. And it's like, I can't have a job where I may not get paid and I have a family. Like I completely get it. Totally. But, you know, like the decision wasn't made lightly. Like I didn't want to have to do that, but I had to do that. So, because at that time, which I don't know if I said to anyone, like, you know, because we did pay cuts for everybody. We did the furlough for like a week or whatever. I wasn't getting paid at all in that time.
Like, how long was you? How long was you weren't taking a paycheck?
This
is ballpark. It ain't gonna be specific, just ballpark.
Yeah, no, it was at least most of that year.
The whole year?
It wasn't the whole year, but it might have been like 8 months or something like that. Yeah, mind you, like I had just moved to the penthouse that I live in.
Yo, bro. I'll give you credit right now. I'm gonna keep it all the way gangster with you. Like everything you said is stamped, verified facts, right? One of the best memories of my profession, one of the best, probably top 3, is when we went out to Cali.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was one of my top 3 experiences. Went out to Cali. We out there. I went to Fat Burger. Y'all, you and Chris dying on me. Like, what the fuck you going to Fat Burger when we going over here to get some steak? I don't care. I got to get a Fat Burger, man. Don't play with it. I'm going in the hood. But we out there to see a client. And we end up working. It was a relationship we ended up getting. It was a deal that was super necessary. Then we ended up going to SEO in Austin. I remember all that. I just remember that feeling, bro, of just grind. And then the fucking whole world changes the week later.
Yeah.
A week later. And I do remember something that you told me, bro. Like, I'm just going to keep it all the way gangster with you. Where I was in that time, like, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. Yo, they even big, man.
You gotta go. This is live. People can see you.
That's love, bro. Oh, man. But where I was in that moment, bro, it was a lot. Mm-hmm. I just knew the energy was right. And I knew we was going to do something special.
Yeah.
I just felt that. And just for you, bro, like I said, I've worked at Cannes, bro. I was being flown out. I was a VP of an agency. But you taught me a lot of shit, man. You taught me, like, the devil's in the details.
Mm-hmm.
The devil's in the details. Like, you got to know your shit. And how you always, like, I used to always think, like, damn, how the fuck you know where the puck is going to be? What kind of work that you're putting in the background on top of work in the business, on top of being a visionary, and then all those thoughts wrapped in your head and still trying to be for everybody. Mm-hmm. And show up and still point, yo, there's nothing, nobody pouring in your cup.
Yeah, no, that's
and
real.
You're dealing with a lot of fucking shit. And so looking back, bro, I'm like, yo, first of all, at that time, you paid me out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a hefty sum, bro. It was the biggest commission check I got at that moment in my life. Legally, motherfuckers ready like, what? I'm just keeping it gangster, bro. I wouldn't have been able to start the business without it.
That was a big deal. I remember that one.
That was a major deal, bro. But the fact that what we were doing at the time, you kept it real, you kept everything, and we still was going, bro. It was one conversation in BBQs I'll never forget. And then changed how I think about a lot of shit. We was in BBQs, bro, and I just remember you telling me, like, yo, look, I got the television for this, that. Like, we're going to get the podcast equipment. We're going to do this. We're going to turn it up. We got bars. We got the studio. And I'm like, yo, bro, I could be myself. Like, I could be myself, son. Like, real shit. Like, I could be myself. I could come here with some bars. We could close a deal. We could make money, and we could make that shit happen. I never experienced that shit in my life. And it made me want to take a risk. And that LinkedIn shit wouldn't have happened unless I got that from you guys. And you guys could have told me, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about, LinkedIn? I'm just keeping it gangster as an entrepreneur, bro. You could have been like, nah, bro. Like, you was like, nah, bro, I'm going to get the podcast equipment. I know you want it. I know you're going to do right by it. I know you're going to do this. And then the pandemic happens. The equipment's in the office. We sit there doing podcasts with no lights. I got my son's 3rd grade headphones. Remember that shit, bro? There's no light, no nothing. Yeah. And we made that shit work. So, like, from the bottom of my heart, bro, like, just thank you for believing in me, man. Because I'm the type of motherfucker, that's what this show is about. It's about the chance. A lot of us in our hood, bro, and a lot of our communities, we don't get the chance. And it took somebody that looked like me to give me the chance.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it like this, man. Like,
that's real.
You know, the frame of corporate America is like, oh, you got to conform to it, da. No, you don't. Like, if you're good, you can make your own fucking rules. And that's what I've done my whole career. And
that corporate structure, though, bro, because sometimes you can be too good.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you too good, come on, you know how that works.
But that's fine, because if you're someone that's too good, that means you need to start your own thing, and you just use those other roles to, like, build your network and kind of build that foundation, and then you create your own thing, just like you're doing, just like I do. I think that those rules matter to some degree, but you can always step outside of that and do your own thing.
It's a price for it. It's just, are you willing to pay the price that comes with it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people ain't gonna get, bro. A lot of people, and I had the same, bro. It's the talent. The talent ain't the issue. It's the motherfucking process.
Sure.
It's the process. And so that's one thing I understood and learned with that, bro. Like, once I left, first of all, the work we was doing there, when I left, I was running circles around Hootsuite, bro. Yo, bro, I was as love like the owl. They had me with the owl. I'm just keeping it gangster with you, bro. Like, I was going crazy. Imagine coming in the joint. I'm interviewing the CEO off the rip first week. He's like episode 8.
That's crazy.
1,500
Yeah,
people.
I mean, a lot of people say that, like, after working with us, like, everything else is easier.
It was gladiator school. Like, I'm just keeping it real. What we were doing, so to give people context during the pandemic, we were closing deals. So we might have 3, 4, 5 meetings on a good day. We got like 6, 7. It's like back to back, a little half an hour, get something to eat or something. Boom, boom. And not all of them closing. We just, you're going through the motions, right? You're going through the motions of the sales process, building relationship. Especially at that time, we'll take something all the way to 10 steps. And then something happened. Budget got cut. People getting furloughed, right? Now the email is bouncing. It was crazy shit that we had to make happen. On top of doing a pod. On top of
what's crazy? To this day, like I was working a deal today and I was looking in HubSpot and I see that you spoke to this person like 5 years ago or whatever it was. And they were like, oh, we don't need anything. But now they're like, oh, you guys got AI search. Yeah, we need that. It's so crazy to see that.
It could be anything. Bro, every relationship plant sprouts differently. So it could have been that one thing. Like, it's so much value. And so that was something, bro, like I'm just glad everything happened. I'm glad that we can talk as two grown men. First of all, as an entrepreneur, if that didn't happen, what we went through, I wouldn't be a first generation entrepreneur right now, bro, with 2 businesses.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying, bro? So I'm going to look you in the eye and tell you that. That's why we toast up. That's why we toast off camera. So thank you, my brother. I got my mama a business. My mama's a entrepreneur now.
Nice. That's very cool.
That's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about it. Like, that's the things we're doing, bro. But I had to see it was possible. I had to go to Cali with you. I had to see it was like, bro, we missed the flights. Remember we missed the flights?
Oh, man. Yeah, that was crazy. Hey, I remember there was one time I think I let you hold a book or whatever. And I had like a list of things I wanted to do that I written. And you said you saw it and you were like, yo, this is like, it was real impactful to you, whatever it was. I can't remember what was on there though.
Bro, it was a list of 10 things you needed to do to start your business. I wish I still, like, I know it's somewhere, like it's in this house. It said it would just happen to open a book. And what's the odds you give me the book?
Yeah, right.
What's the odds you give me the fucking book? Out of anybody that's worked there, I bring this shit home. I'm like, yo, let me just open this shit up. Boom, boom. It's a loose leaf paper with like 10 things I need to do to start my business. And it's how you interpret it and through what lens, bro. Like, I looked at that, I was like, yo, I needed to see it. I specifically needed to see it.
Yeah, it made it more tangible. Like, it was like, oh, he just made a list and did it? Okay.
He wrote it down and followed through. Like, that shit can happen, son. Like, so that's like, what's the odds? Like, that's a dope story too, bro. Like, what's the odds of that?
Yeah.
And looking at what we're doing now, bro. Because I ain't gonna hold you. When I left, man, I was like, first of all, we did amazing things, bro. The brands we were talking to, the complex, and I just want people to understand, even people that are now, like, one thing I understood, you got to understand, like, what kind of value I could bring. I was so proud that you gave me the opportunity. The first thing I was thinking is, how can I bring value, bro? I'm like, where you at? I don't know. Remember the comment, like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing for sales? He was like, yeah, I tell a story all the time. He was like, yo, I'm on Twitter. I'm doing this. I'm doing personal branding stuff. I'm like, nigga, it ain't them emails you want me. It ain't no email. It ain't cold. What you doing? So I got to figure it out. And I'm like, we're going to go on LinkedIn now. I know you remember, bro. I know you was probably looking at us like, yo, me and Lee bugging. We go downstairs, filming content, starting to get lit. And then it got to become a thing, bro. And look what the thing has become, bro. When I was there, I ended up getting a VP of BET, bro. We had the CEO revolt the day you got the content. The CEO revolt the day he became the CEO. We the only people in the world with that content.
Yeah, I remember. You. That's when you connected with Matthew Knowles too.
No, Matthew Knowles after, bro. I connected with him on LinkedIn, but I never shot the shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember you connected with him and you like posted the screenshot. I was like, word? That's crazy.
Yo, bro, because it went from like, yo, let me do SEO to get sales. And it went from being like, yo, bro, like, we're really doing something I never thought of doing to actually saying yes. And then we just grew something crazy, bro. So, like, for that, man, like, if everybody's still there, some of the best moments I had, went there, went to Hootsuite after, went crazy, bro. Like, my best post was out of anger. Like, I don't know if you remember the SEO, when I put my face on Steph Curry body.
Mm-hmm.
and did all that, bro. Like, so, like, for you, bro, like, what I just want to say, I didn't understand it then. I understand it now. I appreciate it because I'm going through the same shit that you went through.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that my mentors told me that I interviewed when I was in Rankable Solomon, bro, he said he could have put me on at any time. He said, you know what, bro? I would never rob you of the process. The reason why you are who you are today is because you weren't robbed of the effing process.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're not robbed of that process, you see things so effing clearly that other people ain't going to see. And it's hard to tell people when you might be the 1 out of 10 people that see what you see, and you can't really articulate. We might not be the best at articulating the right way, but we see it, and we're creators, bro. So I got that from you, man, and just proud of you, bro. Proud that you keep going. I'm proud that I was coming into the Gladiator School with something I needed, and I just learned so much, bro. And I feel like this conversation was just needed.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to see you cooking, man. It's a great thing, you know,
bro. You want to know some shit? Like, you know what we've been through? Like, bro. First of all, from that to this, bro, we are the only people that have been in the Marley house. Bro, I did an interview in Rohan Marley's house.
Wow.
His family's there. All of Lauryn Hill's kids are there.
Wow.
We sitting there chilling, bro. I'm smoking the Zaza, the Marley. I'm smacked for a week, son. And then he just say press record. Out of nowhere. We sitting there ready to record. I'm like, oh yeah, son, I'm mad nervous, son. It's like, yo, and it came out, you got one shot. Sitting there going to France, bro. I worked for Ken. I went as an entrepreneur. I'm sitting there putting equipment with a caution tape sign. It's makeshift. It's Home Depot. You figure it out, man. You figure it out.
It's the only thing to do.
And that's like, bro, but it was that moment. I didn't know. People say, like somebody said, the purpose is your GPS, bro. Like I wouldn't have found that without those experiences. You could, like I said, what if you would have been like, you know what? Fuck that. Not saying I wouldn't have done it, but it would have deterred me a bit. And so for you, bro, I'm curious for you. Who was one person that poured into you like that? Was like, yo, you're him. Well, and what's some of the best games you got from like your mentor or somebody?
So I had a manager at Publicist his name is Tony Effick, and he's like the best manager I ever had. And I only had him for like 6 months because then he left and went somewhere else. But you know, he understood who I was. He was like, "Oh, you're great. Let me put you on in this, and this." Like, you know, because I was still rough around the edges, right? Like I went to a client meeting in like jean shorts one time because it was like 83 degrees. I'm like, what do you want me to wear? You know what I'm saying?
Shorts is a nasty word. That's nasty.
It was me and like the president of the agency and whoever the client was. And so she complained about what I was wearing to my manager. And he was like, look, you can't wear that. But, you know, I mean, he gave me some game. He helped me. He pointed me in the right direction to level up my skills. And, you know, to this day, if I run into something where I'm like having challenges, I'll send him a text and he'll be like, oh, it's this, and this, or think about this, and this. And then it's like, you know, problem solved. So learned a lot from him. You know, Rand Fishkin, super valuable in that way. Like, even if it isn't just like advice, it's been a lot of like, yo, what about this? You know what I mean? And then it sparks other ideas for me. So really appreciative of him too.
All right, bro. As you're saying it, bro, I'm thinking about. I'm trying to come up with a story of like what is some dope shit that I've ended up learning throughout this entire experience, bro. One I'll give you is shit. I've had so many, bro. I've sat in this fucking south of France with the CEO of Versus.
That's
like
crazy.
eating roasted duck, doing the Tony eating caviar eggs. That's what we've been doing. From the Bronx River to the French Riviera, like bro, we've had so many, man. I've had so many people. I've had millionaires, billionaires tell me they're proud of us. Just the lessons I've learned, how they move, the tonality, the way they speak. What are what they feel is important, how to build those relationships, when to make the ask, when not to make the ask.
Yeah.
Like it's so much shit that you realize, bro. And what was one moment for you, bro? What was like, I'll tell you what was one moment, like what was a big ask for you? How do you manage your relationships with people that are like that you want to really build with? Like what's one
what? Like that's one thing I'm not purposeful enough with. Like the way I do it is I'm more like, how can I help? You know what I mean? So like I build that equity, but then I rarely use it. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like, oh, this person needs this, or it seems like they could use this, or they should be connected with that person. Like I'm always just doing that. I'm not doing it to get things from people, but in those moments where like I'm really challenged or something isn't going well or whatever, and I might be on the phone with someone like that, and by happenstance, or they'll be like, hey, what's going on? Like, is there anything I can help with? I'll be like, oh, what about this and this I got going on? And then they're like eager to help me, because I don't do anything. Like I don't network to get something things from people. Yeah.
Like, it just happens.
Yeah, like and even when I need something from someone, I'm not like, oh, let me go ask them. You know what I mean? Like it's not natural. So yeah, I'm not great with that.
Nah, bro, we got to. We got to. That's one thing I struggle with too, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I've got so many people on the phone. I told the story the other day, bro. I was in a millionaire's mansion with Bandman Kevo and them. Bro, I might have had $20 to my name. Real, it's just one of the moments where you gotta risk it for the biscuit. My man's bought a $250,000 chain, man. And you know why I was there? Because I'm genuine. Proud of him. You feel me? Like shit like that, bro. So like for me, man, I don't really, it's messaging the movements. You don't have to even have anything for me. I love it. Yeah, how old are the girls now?
Glory's upset because we're supposed to play.
No, I'm so sorry, Mama. How are you?
Good.
Good. I know you don't remember me. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I took Daddy for a little bit. We probably 5-10 more minutes, Mama. I'm sorry.
Okay. He said
I got to do homework.
Oopsies. That was an accident.
Yeah. It's okay.
So let's talk about that, man. How do you balance, bro? What's the balance?
I don't. I'm really bad at balance. Like
I gotta give you a message on that.
Message.
Nah, like really, like my whole life is basically triage. Like, what's the most important thing to do at any given time, right? And a lot of times, the most important thing is something with the family or whatever. But a lot of times, not. So
that's right.
I'm not like a work-life balance person at all. I am what needs to happen right now.
So, and before we end off too, I know you got the event coming up, bro. What's good with SEO week? How did that idea come about? First, even before we go into that, how the hell you knew you was doing ChatGPT projects during the pandemic? And you try to have me sell this shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? This shit is mad complex, bro. But looking back, I'm like, nah, bro. How did you do that? And then we'll get into that.
Yeah, I mean, that technology, had existed for a while, and we were playing with it. We were doing things on clients with it and all that, but it wasn't easy to use at that point, right? Like until ChatGPT existed, like GPT itself existed since like 2019 or whatever. Really? And so we had been using it to like scale content production or whatever. Then once ChatGPT came out and it's easy to use, it's just literally chat and everyone wants to use it. Like it's blowing everything up, right? And so to that point, we've been ahead on it. And now that it's here and it's a part of search, like that's part of why everyone wants to work with us right now, because we have the depth of knowledge of what to do.
Message.
So what's your biggest prediction moving forward? You predicted the ChatGPT during the pandemic, bro. What are some things that you would advise other businesses or marketers, entrepreneurs to look out for?
I mean, everything is going to get like hyper personalized. I mean, it's not going to be like, if you think about search rankings, there's not going to be one search ranking that everyone sees. It's going to be very specific to you and your context. And it's going to make everything harder for marketers. So you got to have more like personalized content for different, user types and things like that. And it's just going to require more effort for marketers to get what they were getting before. So, you know, on the search side, like traffic has been dropping dramatically for people because of this stuff. And the thing is, these AI search platforms, they're not performance channels, they're branding channels. So you're not getting a lot of clicks. They're not coming back from those environments. So people need to understand that. Like people keep expecting it to work like how Google search worked, and it just doesn't. So yeah, more personalization. So you need more specific content, and you got to understand that the channel is different now, and it's not going back.
That's real. What AEO is a big thing, right? What advice would you get? Like so I was talking to some early brands. They were like, yo, like, for instance, AEO is you know, AI, you know, engine optimization. So basically, if McDonald's was saying, hey, somebody puts in, is a McNugget good for me? The McDonald's is trying to figure out how do we make sure they get the right thing to say, hey, McNugget is kind of bad. Don't eat it every day, but it's still a good choice or option when you're low on. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what it's going to. So how do we control our narrative, especially as content creators?
Yeah. So the thing is it's not just about your website. It's about your content ecosystem. So you got to think about your earned, owned, and shared properties. So what's happening on social media, what's happening on YouTube, what's happening on your digital PR, and if you have other websites, like making sure those messages are consistent. Because the way these systems work is they're using classic search as an input. So they're going out and they're performing a bunch of searches, and then they're pulling back passages from those searches, feeding it to the language model to then generate the response. So you want to have your message be in as many places as possible that rank well, so that you are what's fed to that language model.
Message.
You got it here, man. And matter of fact, before we get into SEO week, man, I asked all my guests this: what's the mama I made it for you moment for you as an entrepreneur? What was the mama I made it moment for you, bro? What was one moment you looked back?
I literally made a song called I Made It, and that was the hook.
Yep. What was it? What was that moment, bro? What was that one moment?
So there was a moment where my mom came and hung out with me in my office, because when I told her I was starting a company, she was like, "Ooh, don't you just want to get a job?" And then she came and she was sitting in the WeWork with me, and she was listening to me on calls, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, nah, you got this."
Yeah.
So literally my mom like showing like, "Oh, I believe in what you're doing," was my mama made it moment. But then also making the song called Made It, featuring Music Soul Child, that was about her, was another moment.
Mama broke a tear. Mama dropped a tear.
Yeah, she was quite
I can imagine. Well, I ain't gonna forget Pops too, because Pops was a big influence. What's the Pop made that moment?
I mean, you know, when I made my first million, was like, hey, I did that.
What was that, bro? So Solomon, I asked the Solomon that, my mentor. I was like, what was it like when you made your first million? You know what he told me? He said it was just a Tuesday.
Yeah, it basically was. And I made a vague post about it. I posted 1,000,001 questions from Jay, and I was like, doesn't feel too different.
It feels like 999. But what did you do? Nah, fuck that. They gotta give me the real, bro. What did you do?
Nah, I didn't do anything crazy, because, like, you know, when that happened, there was just so much work to do. I was just like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? And the thing is, and I don't mean to, like, you know, downplay this or anything, but like $1 million is not that much money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's the first marker that say that you made it or whatever, but like it's not that much money. And so I was like, all right, well, how do we get to 2? Like, how do we keep this going? How do we build the process? How do we make this consistent? That's more what my mindset was. And yeah, you know, I think at some point I will be able to like celebrate when I hit a number I'm like excited about, but 1 million was like, cool. All right, this is working. You know what I mean?
Damn, bro. Yeah, I got so many. What's your best investment you made in the business? And then we get an SEO week. What's the best investment you made in yourself and your business?
I mean, it might have been that course that I talked about I went to at Baruch, because it really helped me like understand the foundation of what was missing.
What did you realize was missing?
I mean, a lot of it was process. Like, I'm not inherently a process-oriented person, right? Like, when I do something, I'm like, hey, is there a better way to do this? Like, I'm not trying to just do it over and over the same way. I'm like, hey, a lot of things have changed. There's new technology. There's new things to know. Like, let's do this better than we did it last time. And that doesn't scale. Like, most people need a list of things to do and examples and so on and so forth. Not everyone functions in the way that I do. And so I always assumed that what I did wasn't like special. Like, anyone that's good can do what I do. And that's just not true.
Message.
That's the real, man. Talk about SEO week, man. Because them ads, y'all, I've been liking the ads. I'm like, I see the ad everywhere I go, bro. Everywhere I go, I'm like, shit got me on Twitch. It got me on TikTok.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You everywhere,
Yeah.
bro. I love it, man. When did it start? When did the idea come from?
Yeah, I mean, I think I always wanted to do a conference. And you know, we just had the resources and the time to do it last year. And so the year before that, there hadn't been any like SEO conferences or meetups or anything in New York for like 3 or 4 years. And then the year before last, suddenly we had like 3 events in the same week. And I was like, yo, we should just make this SEO week. And so the following year I threw it myself. And, it was like 40 of the best speakers in the world. We did like Monday through Thursday, and the Wednesday we had an after party with Busta Rhymes. So like it was in like the production value of the event was crazy. We had, the I forget what projection mapping, where you have like multiple walls for like all the presentations. Like I had animations that took up the whole room. It was crazy. So yeah, a lot of people were saying it was like the best conference of the year, if not ever. And now we're just trying to do it better this year.
That's it.
Message.
I'm gonna ask you before we end up. When is more than a title coming to SEO week? I saw everybody. I was a little mad last year. I'm be mad at you.
What you mean?
I ain't get no name change since 8th grade. You'd have been like, yo, son, where you at? What I'm over here doing? I'm over here eating fried with caviar, smoked duck necks, and you can't call it.
Pull up.
I fucking nah, son, but I just want to say that all jokes aside, bro, man, I just want to say I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Real shit. Man, I'm proud of you, bro. Like, thank you for, first of all, thank you for all the lessons you gave me, bro. Directly and indirectly. Because it helped shape me, and it was a pivotal moment in my life, bro. I became an entrepreneur, first generation. We're doing amazing things, bro. I'll wake up some days and still can't believe the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got the fucking approval to go to NAACP Image Awards in Cali, bro. Like,
that's amazing.
Shit like that, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, and it started from here. Yeah. It started from BBQs. It started from a conversation. So I would never, ever downplay the impact that you've had. And that's why I'm honored, bro, for Black History Month, that I could say I had you on here, bro, and celebrated you. And we could have a real conversation as 2 brothers, regardless of what happened. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it is, bro. I don't even take it out. Like, nigga, thank you.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you saying that,
bro. Like, for real. And so with that being said, you already was a part of it, but you're now officially a part of the More Than the Title family, bro. And so what that means, and I mean this genuinely, like for real, anybody I've had on before, anybody I have on after, you got access to, bro. I've seen 6-figure deals happen as a connection of being on a show. Like for real, bro. Just for connecting a dot. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you now, because my mountaintop, and I would love to hear your mountaintop. My mountaintop, I'm gonna be the Clarence Avon of this shit for podcasting. I am, because what people don't see with this podcast shit, we might have 3 people on here right now, but you know what I do 2 times, 3 times a week without fail? I speak to some of the biggest people in the world, and I'm not paying for it. It's the relationship value, the connectivity, bro. I got some of the biggest podcasts in the world watching my stories. I got managers of some of the biggest podcasters watching my stories, bro. And I say that to say, like, it's a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? And so please utilize the relationship. Let's talk more. Let's just vibe. I might just hit you on a random Tuesday, be like, it's 9:17. If I just need a little motivation, we get money today or not?
We always get money.
I might need to hear that from you. So I'm gonna say that, bro. And so please utilize it any way I could bring value, bro. You got a brother here. It's a
I appreciate that. Yeah, man.
Mean that shit. So with that being said, you heard the story, y'all. You know what I'm saying? The proximity to success, the support system, the family structure, right? But also the belief in yourself, right? He could have been an Howard, but he said, you know what? I'm going to go and do my passion. I'm going to follow it. Does it look perfect all the time? No, but it feels terrific when you follow and do what you love. And then it reciprocates. He found out what he was really great at. He went through the gladiator school. He went through all that. He had to figure out what was what. Trying to lead with being a good person. Built his own business, created opportunities. Wasn't always this. It was this, and this, and to the fucking moon. And that's how it happens. But are you going to get through those? Are you going to get through that to get to the hockey stick? Are you going to learn the lessons? Are you going to listen to it? Are you going to get better? Are you going to grow? And so with that being said, you know success ain't linear, man. The hustle is free. But the dream is so separately, y'all. You know what it is. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. Tuesday, I got Jabari Hearn pulling up. Former, he ran Westbrook, Will Smith's company. He's one of the biggest advertising legends in the game. Wednesday, we got Iconically coming through. Thursday, we got Chef Sean, who was one of the lead roles from Jason Lyrics, coming on. We've got some crazy people doing Women's Appreciation Month next month. So please, ladies, I've been getting a lot of content. We're gonna have, Kim Pace, former CML BET, a bunch of people on. It's gonna be love, man. But I just want to tell you, brother, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this journey, man. We got you. Heard Mike King. Tell the people where they can find you at too, bro. Tell the people. Right?
I'm iPullRank on everything. Instagram, Twitter, the whole nine. And iPullRank.com is the agency website.
We're gonna turn our story into a story. We gotta get this shit in content and how we gotta walk through it and really tell the story, like go to the building and shit. We're gonna work on some shit, bro. But I want to say I love you, my brother. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for everybody on check-in LinkedIn. I'm sorry, you gotta go to YouTube. It doesn't pull up on a thing. Mad comments over there, but I love y'all. You know what it is, episode 268. My brother Michael King. iPullRank, more than the title, man. This is full circle. You heard?
Right.
What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all,